Yes, I will admit that I had an unusual amount of free time that third weekend in February, so much so that my family couldn't help but notice all my diagrams, notes, and drawings on the kitchen counter and all around the house. Sometime that weekend, my 10-year-old daughter brought me this. I had forgotten I had started to explain to her what I was working on, and she drew this diagram. It shows the time now and Earth 3/4 of the way from the beginning. It has a circle where the cosmic microwave background would be, but she wanted to point out to me what she had written at the bottom. Instead of writing Big Bang before the expansion, she wrote the words Big Crunch. No, I did not explain to her that the Big Crunch is an unlikely end of the universe since it is based on a gravitational constant that Einstein called his biggest blunder. Edwin Hubble's observations prove the universe is not only expanding, but is accelerating in its expansion. No, I didn't take the time to throw that on my 10-year-old daughter. But anyway, I thought I'd throw this in. I should note that she said this crunch is not the end of the universe here. She says it started, the universe did, up here with something vast and expansive, and then ends in this big crunch. So maybe she was onto something. I don't know. Good job, Claire. Good job thinking. Yes, this story does have an end to it, and just in case I haven't sufficiently embarrassed myself talking about things I really don't understand yet, here is the new and creative and something wonderful ending. Tuesday and Wednesday, I paid very little attention to any of this as I had no free time whatsoever. But then came the weather forecast for the mother of all snowstorms to hit Nebraska and surrounding areas. In all likelihood, there would be a snow day on Thursday. Well, sure enough, I got the call about 8 o'clock that evening that I wouldn't have to go in to work the next day. I caught up on some sitcom episodes on DVR and then went to bed on the night of day 6, selecting this book. I was actually looking for another book on my nightstand, but after basically giving up on any idea that I might have some resolution to all this work from the previous weekend, I figured, oh, what the heck, what have I got to lose? The Akashic Record, according to the sleeping prophet and medical diagnostician Edgar Casey, is, and I quote from the back cover of this book, the storehouse of all information for every individual who has ever lived upon the earth, containing every deed, feeling, thought, and intent that has ever occurred. I started reading the first few pages of this book and learned that we supposedly have access to everything we need to know about ourselves and this planet and perhaps the universe. Well, this could certainly match pretty well with the morphic fields and morphic resonance ideas I was working on, so I read a bit more and then I fell asleep, hoping maybe to happen upon the Akashic Record myself somehow in a dream. So, day 7, I awoke with no luck. I woke Thursday morning not remembering any dream, and I then discovered I had no access to the internet. So I started working on our tax return, looking for deductions. I finished that, then paid some bills. Then I went out to eat at Chick-fil-A and had a really good spicy chicken sandwich. That was good. And came back and took a nap before I planned to head out the driveway with the snowblower. And I'm glad it was a snowy day because it gave me time for another afternoon nap. I fell asleep the afternoon of day 7 with absolutely nothing on my mind. No goal, no expectation, no nothing. Well, I awoke from my afternoon nap at 3:40 p.m. on February 21st, and for some reason had an inspiration about the idea of dark energy. I wrote the following text I will show you in a second. But as I wrote this, it occurred to me that all the talk of quantum fluctuations and puzzles about cosmology, the Big Bang, and the rise of life and consciousness still have this physics problem of dark energy and dark matter. We're told dark matter comprised most of the universe at a time when the universe was 380,000 years old. And now dark matter is only 23%, but substantially more than atoms. It is different from atoms, does not emit or absorb light, and has only been detected indirectly by its gravity. That's the definition. Most of the universe, up to 72% now, is made of dark energy, which is quote, a force that acts as a sort of anti-gravity, is distinct from dark matter, and is responsible for the present-day acceleration of the universe's expansion. It's the force that is speeding up the process you see here. Note the word force. So, rather than listening to someone like Michio Kaku explain to me with his words and his hands that M theory is likely true and that dark matter exists in a parallel universe we have no way of verifying, or how we might keep bumping into different universes as he explains here with his hands, all of this while mainstream science completely dismisses the idea of morphic fields and morphic resonance, enough is enough. You know, if theoretical physicists can make up things about dark energy and imagine what it might be without any way to prove it, then so can I. And here's where I decided to go as I woke from my nap and wrote this. Let's listen to the master, Obi-Wan, explaining, is dark energy maybe the Force? Well, I want you to listen and read the longest running paragraph of stream of consciousness theory banter in the Midwest. I give you a theory of everything that is sure to accomplish my goals of newness, creativity, and true embarrassment. Here's what I wrote as I emerged from my nap. Dark energy, like the Force, surrounds us, penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. No, the first two, not the third. It's on the move, increasing. Like the Higgs boson, this field or force gives elementary particles their mass. It is consciousness, dimly lit at the beginning of the universe. It is the emergent property of evolution. It is the equilibrium in a dense, hot state that spawned the Big Bang. It is where we came from. It is what we are. It is where we're going. It is the final cause. It gives rise to the four forces in physics. It is memory. It manifests as the ever-present awareness of I, that is Descartes' cogito. It is shared in mutual understanding between any two forms. It is sensed as an other or a presence or a thou. It is the surface on which the Akashic record is written. It is the medium of communication and what is being communicated by extraterrestrial beings. It is entanglement. It is spooky action at a distance. It does not bind the galaxy together. That is dark matter. It is the cause of its ever-accelerating expansion. And when it permeates and seeps through to its purpose, all finite things will become self-conscious of this fact. It will be seen, shared, and known. The game of hide and seek will come to an end when it finds every bit of itself. This is at the last pop of the last singularity at the end of time, also known as heat death. All will become known, self-known, realized as such, because as time comes to an end, so will space, so will recognition of any separateness. The ending of the game will be jubilation, but no individual will be made aware of it, because the acceleration will have permeated and recovered every lost boson and the interior of every bit of matter. As such, all will be equilibrium again. What would seem a paradox of heat death and maximum entropy at both ends of the universe is resolved in only one way: another game of hide and seek, another Big Bang. For dark energy is novelty. It is creativity. It is originality. It is that slight non-random force of negentropy associated with living systems that exports entropy, that is maximum equilibrium, to keep its own entropy low. Living systems export entropy at the expense of their character and characteristics until physical death, a door that closes but then opens. The memory is stored and becomes noticeable and detectable as trace energies of form, known variously as ghosts, spirits, entities responsible for hauntings. And I probably should have included extraterrestrials in there since this is a UFO conference. Sensitives pick up the presence as coldness and sense raw emotions of these entities, which may or may not have become embodied at some point. This process is known as morphic resonance, which is coincidentally the vibrations of strings in string theory. It is identical to entanglement and spooky action. It is what is being communicated by the 100th monkey. It is the resonating signature of this memory that allows humans to learn behaviors over time, and rats to learn water mazes more quickly in subsequent generations, apart from their physical genetic material. It is the great and powerful Oz behind the curtain. It is imagination that, when contacted by consensus reality, results in an adventure and a new journey. And as we know, it's about the journey, not the destination. If the destination and the unfolding were already known, that would not make for a fun game of hide and seek. So, I offer you the end of ufology as we know it, along with everything else. I also offer you the beginning of ufology and a new way to study extraterrestrial contact, along with everything else. That, to me, is something wonderful. And embarrassing, I suppose. Until next time, signing off. Thank you for listening.